My name is Shannon, and I am the president and founder of Strategic Growth Design. I help small and medium-sized businesses figure out how to grow their revenue in sustainable, scalable, and repeatable ways. I am a recovering broadcaster. I spent 34 years in the broadcast business, all on the sales side. Failed my way up to market president, spent 10 years overseeing a $40 million P&L, 5 radio stations here in Atlanta. The part of the job that I loved the most was working with small and medium-sized business owners on their sales and their marketing strategy. There's no greater reward than helping a client get to the revenue number that they want. What led me to start Strategic Growth Design was I feel like there's a need for sort of high-level corporate expertise to be put in place in working in small and medium-sized businesses. They can't afford somebody that's going to come in and cost as much as they need, and so the fractional model really works well for them. So I can get done in a day what it would take maybe somebody with less experience 4 or 5 days to do. So they get the benefit of 34 years of sales leadership experience for about a quarter of the price. I'm trying to make sales strategy available to companies that have been almost exclusively basically throwing tactics at the wall. Peter Drucker, foremost business thinker of the 20th century, I think, is famous for saying that the vast majority of businesses have no idea what their customers are buying. They know what they're selling them, but they don't know what's motivating the purchase. And if you can untangle those motivations, you've untangled the key to marketing and to sales. And what I see most businesses struggling with is that the sales team is ticked off at marketing because they're getting crummy leads, and the marketing team's ticked off at sales because they can't close anything they send them. And I use Clayton Christensen, the late Harvard business professor, came up with this idea of jobs theory, which is that we don't necessarily buy products or services as much as we hire them to do really specific jobs in our lives. And if we can understand what the client is hiring us to do specifically for them, man, we're in a powerful place to create messaging, both on the sales and the marketing side. I was working with a logistics staffing firm on the West Coast, and it was a fairly typical assignment, which is the owner was the primary business development person. In fact, she was the only business development person. Had grown the thing to $6-7 million in revenue and had bounced between there for 5 or 6 years. And she had tried to onboard business development reps twice prior to engaging with me, and they flamed out on her because she hadn't been able to knowledge transfer her process into documented sales steps. And so I worked with her over the course of 3 months, put together a 40-page sales playbook for that. Ideal client profiles, buyer personas, competitive intelligence, email scripts, cold call scripts, and then onboarded a business development rep that we both hired together over the course of 6 weeks, drove $100,000 in new business for her just in that 6-week period of time. At Strategic Growth Design, I think the way that we approach things differently is that we always start with the customer. We put the customer at the center of the sales strategy. And the idea is that if you can understand what it is that the customer is looking for, and you tailor your sales process around those needs, you come up with your value proposition looking from the outside in instead of the inside out, you're in a more powerful place to create repeatable and scalable solutions that are easy to teach and train and easy to have salespeople go out and implement. I mean, the biggest single thing that you need if you've got more than 2 salespeople is that everybody's singing off the same choir book. We're all going out to market talking about the company in a consistent and persuasive way. So I teach at the University of North Georgia and I taught at the University of Washington, and I really try and take a teacher's attitude toward it, right? As an educator, you're always trying to educate in the way that the person learns as opposed to the way that you teach. And so I try and translate whatever strategies we're trying to implement into a way that that sales leader is going to understand the best. Make it easy for them to implement. Make it easy for them to make it their own. You know what? Right below is a link for our Sales 1.0 assessment. It's a really simple 5-minute survey that's going to give you a sense of where you have gaps in your sales organization and where you have opportunities. So go ahead, click on that, fill that out and schedule a 30-minute consultation with me, and I'll walk you through what we found in that assessment.